in this workshop. It's my privilege to welcome you, dear sir. Hearty welcome to you, sir. I would like to request Dr. Chidananda AL. I'm sorry, sir. I also want to welcome your family members. I would like to request Dr. Chidananda AL, Coordinator, Department of Education, Mangalore University, to accompany the resource person on the dais. Now, I request Mrs. Lamy MC to florally welcome the resource person. The schedule of the workshop will focus on the topic of database and research metrics. It will include more issues to address the full aspects of the topic. Now, I call upon Kavita from second year MEd to introduce the resource person in detail.
Never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Dr. Mohammad Shaful Mustaq, Professor, Department of Applied Zoology, Mangalore University. He is a second rank holder in MSc Applied Zoology from Mangalore University, and he completed his PhD from University of Mysore in the year 2007. He has been a summer research fellow at MRN Murthy's lab at Bangalore, Dr. Sharma's lab and Dr. Tangaraj's lab at Hyderabad. He did his postdoctoral fellowship from Japan, started his career in Mangalore University in the year 2004. His fellowships and awards include GATE in 1999, CSIR National Eligibility Test for Lectureship, Assistant Professorship in Life Science in December 1998, awarded DST DAAD Fellowship to work in Dr. Thomas Jovin's lab, Max Planck Institute of Biophysical Chemistry, Göttingen, Germany, during January 2002 to December 2003. Awarded postdoctoral fellowship to work in Dr. S.M. Mishka's lab, Institute for Regenerative Medicine and Biofunction, Graduate School of Medical Science, Tottori University, Yonago, Tottori, Japan, during August 2009 to May 2011. SCRB ITS Travel Award for presentation in ASHG 2017 conference, Orlando, Florida, October 2017. Awarded Indian Sciences Academy's Summer Research Fellowship to work in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore by Indian Academy of Science, Bangalore, India 2009. Awarded Indian Sciences Academy's Summer Research Fellowship to work in CCMB, Hyderabad by Indian Academy of Science, Bangalore, India 2011 and 2016. INSA Visiting Scientist Fellow from INSA, New Delhi to work in Professor P. Balram Lab at MBU in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore during 2017-18. Received Best Poster Award during ISHG 2017 annual meeting at CCMB, Hyderabad. Sir has successfully guided 3 PhD students and 3 more researchers pursuing PhD under his guideship. Published more than 36 research publications in journals of international and nation repute. He was a resource person for different national and international conferences for more than 16 conferences. He organized different conferences, special lecturing and training courses. He participated and presented papers and posters in more than 30 national and international conferences. His area of expertise include molecular biology, biodiversity, human genetics, statistics, biochemistry, animal tissue culture. Professional membership: life member of the Indian Society for Human Genetics, life member of Society for Neurochemistry, India, life member of Society of Biological Chemistry, Bangalore, India, life member of Indian Science Congress Association, Kolkata. Presently, he is working on the research grant project on genomic diversity of Konkani population, west coast of India. Sir, I request you to start the session. session.
Thank you. Thank you for wild introduction of me. And this is very odd time, Sunday afternoon, and I think you all want to sleep. Subject is like that, but I will not allow you to sleep, okay? Yeah, since it is an afternoon session, my session will be more interactive type, okay? Because you will be talking, I will be talking about research metrics. Research metrics is one of the very essential tool to assess researchers, their how best they are doing in the research, and also in the journals, how we assess the journal, which journal is the best for our publication, which journal is lower, which journal is the pediatrics. So everything all depends on research metrics. Okay? Yeah, I'll be talking about research database in short, but research database I think somebody will be covering in elaborately in your session. Then I'll be covering journal metrics like impact factor of a journal, how we calculate impact factor, then JCR, journal citing report, and cite score, SNP, SGR, Almetric. These are the journal metrics to decide which journal is the best for our publication or which journal is the best in your field. Then we have other metrics like H index, I10 index, and G index. So what are research metrics in generally? Research metrics are the fundamental tool, I told you, used across the publishing industry to measure their performance both journal and author level. We are performing to assess author level also and journal level also. But impact factor mainly for journal, to assess the journal. For long time only tool for assessing journal performance was impact factor. Now many other tools have emerged. First it was only impact factor. Now there are range of different research metrics available. For example, baskets of metrics is growing every day, from traditional impact factor to Almetric, H index, and beyond. Many matrices have evolving day by day. What do they all mean? How is each metric is calculated? And which research metrics are most relevant to your journal? Then how can you use these tools to monitor your journal's performance? So once you have published in journal, after 5 years, whether their journal performance you can see. You can go to their website and see their journal, how it is, impact factor is increased or decreased. So we can assess their performance. Nowadays, yesterday I think Sham, my colleague, he might have talked about the journal, that some journals you pay and you published. After 1 month or sometime 1 year, that journal will not exist only. Okay, so you should not do that. You should be very, very careful. So always go for impact factor journal because you will have the quality. Okay. So next, what are impact factor? How they calculated? Actually, you don't need to calculate. If you go to their website, everything will come. But being a student, you should know how they calculate impact factor. Okay. So what is the impact factor? Impact factor is probably the most well-known metrics for assessing journal performance. Okay, you will tell no, he has published the journal, published the paper impact factor 15, Nature Genetics. So he will be very great. Okay, it is coming from 0.1 to up to 30, 40, 50 also is the impact factor. So designed to help librarians, also librarians it is help with a collection of management 1960s before. It has become now common proxy for journal quality. Before librarians used to use quality basis, they used to do. Now we are using for to assess the performance of the journal. The impact factor is simple research matrix. It is the average number of citations received by article in a journal within 2 years window. So in detail, when we calculate, we will come to know what is the impact factor, how they calculate. It is the average number of citation. So now you published paper 2022, 22, 23, 24. So after 2 years, what is this citation? So in these 2 years, how many papers they have published? Okay, so citation divided by the total number of published paper in 2 years. That is the impact factor. So in clear, so we'll take this report from JCR, Web Science of Journal Citation Reports. If you go there, we'll get that data from there, and the publishers official results annually they publishes the impact factor. Each journal will publish their impact factor annually. How they calculate? So this is the symbol. What is citation? Referring the work done by individual to support your research. Somebody is doing, you are taking somebody's work, you have to cite that person's paper. Okay, so that is citation. Impact factor, I told you, journal defined total number of citation for article published in preceding 2 years per total number of article published in 2 years. So first is citation in 2 years, then before 2 years, what are how many papers are published? That is how impact factor is. So in other words, number of citation received in 1 year to content published in journal X during 2 previous years, divided by total number of article and reviews published in journal X within previous 2 years. Okay. So here is an example, you will understand now. Journal X in year of 2018, he has published 30 articles, journal X. Then in 2019, they have published 40 articles. So this is 2 years publication. Then how many after 2018, 19, 20? You have to see 2 years. In 2020, how many are cited that article? So in 2020, this 50 example, I have written 50 numbers are cited in this 2018 article in 2020, and in 2020, 90 citation have come from this 2019. So how we calculate now impact factor? Impact factor of a journal X in the year 2020 is A plus B, that is total overall citation in 2020 of previous 2 years of published article of that journal. So 50 plus 90 is 140 divided by M plus N, that is years of how many articles are total articles published. This is 70 articles are published. So impact factor is 2. The journal's impact factor is 2. Like that, these publishers calculate or do the impact factor of the journal. Same way, in the journal Y, in 2016, year of this many articles is published. In 2017, 70 articles are published. So overall citation in 2020, actually it should have come 17, no? 18. 2018 I would have written, I did wrong, 2020 I written. It's 2018, how many? 25 cited, and in this article 2017, in 2018, 35 citation have come. So total A plus B, total number of citation divided by total number of publication in 2 years. So we'll get 0.5. How you got 0.5 now? There it is a less impact factor, 0.5. Why it became 0.5? Because of citation is less. If citation is more, your journal's impact factor will be more. Okay, all depends on your citation. That impact of a journal depends on citation. Okay. So this is the one That's what Clearview analytical impact factor, how they calculate, same thing. I have taken this a screenshot from Clearview analytical impact factor. You can go to this website. They also written how they calculate the impact factor. Okay. So you have to go for this type of journal for publication. So all you people are science or arts, commerce? Social science, yeah, social science also it is required. Okay, everything is impact factor is a major thing to assess the journal quality. Next is other metrics is site score, Scopus. Okay, there it was we are using Clearview analytics and now site score, Scopus. What is site score? Site score is a ratio of citation to research published. The ratio of citation to research published, it's currently available for journals and book series which are indexed in Scopus. Site score considers all content published in journal, not just articles and reviews. So it content all like a conference, a paper and your book chapter, everything it is involved, not only reviews and your research article. The site score was produced by Scopus in December 2016 and easily replicate via Scopus database. In addition to site score, Scopus also have published additional rankings such as site score percentile have based on the subject categories, monthly site score trackers, so many other additional rankings also they have. The site score calculation is number of citation recorded in the Scopus in 1 year to content published in journal X in the last 3 years, divided by total number of items published in journal X in the previous 3 years. So here all depends on citation recorded in Scopus in 1 year. Okay, you will understand when you will get to calculate. So site score measures average citation received per document published in title. So average citation. The site score values are based on the citation count in range of 4 years to peer review document, articles, reviews, conference paper, data papers, book chapters, all these things are taken care. Okay. So for example, you want to calculate site score for 2020. What is the site score of the article? A is a citation to article, reviews, conference paper, data papers, book chapters published in 2017 to 2020. So 3 years. What are the citation, total citation you have to take, and B is the sum of article, how many articles they have published, reviews, conference paper, data papers, book chapter published in 2017-20. Just you have to divide, very simple, A by B, you get the site score. So it is taking care all the things what they publish, not only article and reviews. Site scores taking care of all conference paper, they take care, data papers they take care, book chapter, all these things they are taking care. Okay. So this is the, if you go to elsewhere website, you can see site score. So this is the one journal of American College of Surgeon. Okay, any journal you can take. This is the site score in 2020 is 8.1. So you can go to that website, elsewhere website, and you can see the journal's site score. What is the site score? If it is more, that is more for your, that journal will be high. Depends on the score. Okay. Next, SNP source normalized impact per paper. So this means impact of a paper or citation of a paper within a subject field. So it measures contextual citation impact by weighting citation based on the total number of citation in subject field. So how many numbers of citations are there in the subject field? This unique perspective enables direct comparison of sources in different subject fields. The impact of single citation is given higher value in subject areas where citations are less likely, vice versa. So impact of single citation is given higher value. For example, it is a ratio of numerator and denominator. For example, SNP's numerator is a journal's impact per publication. So citation per publication, IPP, divided by DCP, that is database citation potential. So what is IPP? Simply average number of citation received in a particular year. Okay, by paper published in a journal during 3 preceding years. So same like impact factor only, we need citation in the average year divided by database citation potential. We know that there are the large difference between various scientific subfield in frequency at which authors cite papers. The view of this, each journal in an indicator is calculated of the citation potential of the subject field it covers. This citation is included in SNP's denominator as DCP. So SNP is how it calculated IPP divided by DCP. So you will get the value. So this is how citation divided by publication, how much it is published. Okay, because this database citation potential, how they calculate, it's already written in their website. The direct comparison of sources in different subject field. So citation potential is shown to vary not only between journal subject categories or discipline. Journal of mathematics tend to, for example, mathematics tend to have lower value than journal in life science, but also between journal within the same subject category. So this varies, impact is varies between the subject. Sometimes will not have much value in they not cite more in mathematical journal, but in life science journal will have more impact factor. Okay, more impact. So for instance, basic journal tend to show higher citation potential than applied or clinical journal. It can happen likewise, otherwise also. Journals covering emerging topics tend to be higher than periodicals in classical subject. So depends on which journal have higher citation. To normalize that, some journals will have more citation, some journals will have less citation. To normalize that, this calculation is done. Okay. So there it helps authors to identify which journals are performing best within their subject field. So we can it will help them to decide where to publish. So this helps authors to identify which journals performing the best within their field. So we can, if you go to that website, we can click on the year to view journals matrix. There is a journals matrix thing, we can just click it, you will come to know, or you can decide which journal is best suited for your data to be published. The size of the circles are compared to the highest value of 5-year range. The highest value is represented by closed circle, and the open circle indicate journal's value compared to the highest value. So this is the same thing, I don't want to repeat. So this, for example, this journal I told you the SNP value is 2.21. So in 2020. So this varies. Okay. Then you can go to in detail and see whether that journal is good for your publication or not. Next is SIMAGO journal rank. This SGR aims to capture the effect of subject field, quality and reputation of journal on citation. It calculates the prestige of a journal by considering value of sources that cited. So here they consider the value of source, which are the source that cited, rather than counting all citation equally. That is very, very important. So SGR SIMAGO journal rank, it calculates the prestige of a journal by considering, so SGR ranking also very, very important to evaluate which journal is good. So it sees consider value of sources that cited. Each citation received by journal is assigned a weight based on SGR of the citing journal. So citation from journal with the high SGR value is worth more than citation from the journal with the low SGR value. That you understand. So how we can calculate average number of citation in a given year to journal X divided by the number of articles published in journal X in the previous 3 years. So it's the same as impact factor, but there it was 2 years, here it is 3 years. Okay, average citation in a year to journal X divided by number of articles published in X in the previous 3 years. So as we asked the SNP and CITE score, SGR is calculated using Scopus data. We can get the data from the Scopus, they do this calculation. This measures number of times average paper in a particular journal is cited. As such is conceptually similar to impact factor, I told. The major difference is that instead of each citation being counted as one impact factor, this SIMAGO journal rank assigning each citation value greater or less than 1 based on the rank of citation journal. Here they have the scale 1. They make it less than 1 or more than 1. Note, this is the scale of assigning the citation. The weighting is calculated using 3-year window measurement and uses Scopus database. Author can use this matrix when deciding where to publish. The idea is to assign weights to bibliographic citation based on the importance of the journal that used them. Citation issued by more important journal will be more valuable than those issued by less important ones. This importance will be computed recursively. The important journals will be those which in turn receive many citations from other important journals. That is very clear. So importance will be computed recursively. So important journals will be those in which they receive many citations from the important journals. So ranking is from based on 1 less than 1 or equal to 1 or more than 1. So this is the SGR journal site 2.3 is a good. More, if anything more than 1 is good. Then what is Almetrics? Almetrics are to help you to measure impact of journal by looking at social activity around it. So nowadays, no, you make it your paper published, then what you will do? You will put in the newspaper, and you will go to the Facebook, then you put it in the Twitter. Okay, and this is coming from the social media. Okay, social activity around it. So they use quantitative and qualitative data alongside the traditional citation and usage-based metrics to provide an insight into attention, influence, impact of academic research. So most common method of reporting on Almetrics is the Almetric attention score. They also have the score. This tool tracks wide range of online sources to capture conversations happening around academic research. How its Almetric attention score is calculated. Almetric monitors each online mention the piece of research and weights the mentions based on volume, sources and authors. The mention in the international newspaper contributes to high score than tweet about the research. For example, Almetric attention score is presented within the it is presented within the colorful donut. Next slide it is there. So each color indicate different source of online attention ranging from traditional media outlet to social media like online reference manager like academic forums, patents, policy document, open syllabus project and more, and strong Almetric score with features both high number in the center, wide range of colors in the donut. Discover the different ways you can make Almetric data. So these are the reference for that. You can see how Almetric data can be calculated and the reference for journal metrics. Now up to now I was telling about the journal metrics, how to assess the journal. This is the Almetric data. This is like color. Okay, and this journal, this paper it was 53, this journal. Okay, so news it comes, and the blog, policy document, patent, Wikipedia, Twitter, peer review, then Google, okay, all YouTube, everything will be cited, and they calculate, and these are the sources is mainly from social media. They get it, how they discussed your research in social media. Then you will make some calculation, you will get this calculation. So this score is more, that much the journal or your items are morely valued. It is in the This is new metrics. So many metrics are coming. So till now I have talked about the metrics of journal, how to assess the performance of the journal. Now coming to H index, author performance. So how we can assess the researcher? So we had to, for example, two people are working in the same field. How we will assess who is good, who is bad? We can assess by metrics only, research metrics. For example, H index is the one they use, which who is doing well in that field. This H index also can be used for departmental, and before they used to use only for individual level assessment. Now they use for departmental level assessment, which department is doing good, and even university assessment they use H index. Even state they want to assess H index, and even country also using H index, which country has got lot of H index. Okay, so the H index is very, very important research matrix. So what is the H index? H index is the author level research metric. Author level research metric, first introduced by Hirsch in 2005. That's why H index attempts to measure the productivity of a researcher and the citation impact of their publication. So H index attempts to measure productivity of researcher and citation impact of their publication. The basic H index is calculated as number of article published which have received the same number of citation. Okay, number of article is published which will have same number of citation. Okay, this is the H index. For example, if you have published a 10 paper, then each cited 10 times or more will have H index is 10. If you understand, you have 8 paper. So 8 paper it should have cited 8 times. Then your H index is 8. Okay. So let's calculate H index. For example, publication, 12 publication of one author, 1, 2, 3 publication. So citation, publication 1, there are 26 citation and 12 citation. Publication 3 cited 3 times, 6 times. Publication 4, 11, 2, 6, 29, publication 7, 14. So these are the citation. Okay. Now we want to calculate what is the H index of this particular author. Can you anyone tell that? Or for example, we'll make one more data set like rank. This is haphazard, no? So we'll make rank 1, rank 2. So these many publications are there. So citation according to citation decreasing level we have ranked. So this was the 29 was a which one? Publication 6. So we kept it first. 29, 26, 15 like that. So decreasing order of citation we arrange this data. Okay. Now calculate the H index. Why I got 8? Somebody told 8. Who told 8? What is the H index of this data now? H index. Can anyone tell? See, H index is nothing but, for example, this is the 6th publication. Okay, 6th publication. How many times it is published? How many times? 11 times. So 6, more than 6, isn't it? 6 or more than 6. That's all right. So we have to see 7 publication more than 7. So 8, 9. Okay. So but 9, 7. So it is less cited, less than what is the publication. He published 9 paper, but citation here is 7. So we cannot take that. It has, it means it should be equal amount. Paper is n, then n time it has to be cited. So we had to go little, then above one, it is the 8th paper. 8th paper published how many times? Sorry, cited how many times? 9 times. So 8, this is the one, the H index is then 8. We calculate H index as 8 because we can't go here because it is not 9 times, it is not cited. He has to wait how many, 2 more, somebody has to cite. Then his H index will become 9. Okay, so in H index 2 things are very, very important. One is how many times published, citation is very, very important. How many times they cite. Okay. So what is the this is the H index comparison, author A, author B and author C, same data set I used here. Okay, author 1 cited, author A they are cited, one is 11 times, second paper 7 times, 3 paper like that. So can you tell which is the H index for author A here? Anyone? 6, yeah, 6 times they have cited. So H index is 6. What about this one, author B? 5. Okay, because they have first so many times they have cited, but still it has got H index is 5. Then author C 5. Yeah. So in author C and B, you can see in first 2 papers now so much citation is there, 220 citation, but still H index is 5 because they can't go 6 because after some time I think their papers are not citing people, or they might have worked with good people first, then he might have come back and they are not publishing or not. It should be for citation what you have to do, good quality paper you have to create, then only somebody will cite. Quality is very, very important in your research. If quality is not there, nobody will cite your paper. Okay, now what is the very advantage of H index? Main advantage that we can assess each, we can compare between 2 groups, which group is doing well. Even H index is used for your accreditation or promotion. They will see, okay, if you want to go for any job, first they will see what is your H index. Okay, then for example for our university to accredit to NAC, they will see H index of our university. So all those things, so H index is very, very important. What is the disadvantage of H index is the newcomers like you to the researcher, you have to publish, now you are publishing, but citation you have to wait, so many years you have to wait for citation, at least 5 years, 10 years, somebody has to be cited. So till that your H index you may not get. So that is one disadvantage. If you make your paper fast, good paper, then somebody cite within 2 or 3 years, somebody cites. So same number, at least you get 2 or 3, 4 H index in your PhD, that will be great. But sometimes H index is not, it is highly, we are assessing to H index, but sometimes what happened, you heard of Edward Witten, he is a physicist, well-known physicist in USA. He is telling my H index is bigger than US. Stephen Hawking, his H index is below 62. His H index is 132. 132 is where is okay, but he tells more people know me who I am, but many people don't know who is Edward Witten. Correct? Because maybe you initial research, it become very famous because of that. Sometime research because of your discovery, you'll become very famous. That paper only they cite. After that, they'll not cite. So H index, if it is not there but it become famous also, that part also is there. Okay. So this all H index all depends on your citation. Who will cite, how much you publish, how much you cite. So I10 index, next is one more score called I10 index. It is created by Google Scholar and used mainly in Google. If you go to Google's Research Scholar, you'll see I10. What is your I10? It will be there only. So I10 index, number of publication with at least 10 citation. I10 means you should have 10 citation. Number of publication with at least 10 citation. This is a very simple measure. Is only used by Google Scholar and is another way to help the productivity of the scholar. So only Google Scholars are used. Okay, no other database. So I10 index, how we can calculate, same database I used here, publication, then citation, then I ranked according to the decreasing level of citation. I have ranked here. Okay, now can you tell which is the I10 here, I10 of this publication? 7, how? Yes? Yeah, citation should be 10 or above. Minimum should be 10. Understand? That's how it calculates I10. For example, here 8, 9, it is H index is 8. Okay, so I10 index is 7. Why? Because 10 times it has to be cited. But here in 8, here only 9 times. He has to wait one more citation. So when somebody cites here, then his I10 index will become 10. Okay, so I10 index is very simple one. 10 times it has to be cited. His publication has to be cited 10 times. 10 or more times, minimum 10. So that's how it is calculated. Now if you see the comparison here, in same data set, author A, author B and author C rank 1. So what is the I10 of author A? 1, because all others are below 10, isn't it? So it is 1 more than 10. So this is the, since even though his H index is 6, but I10 index is 1. Okay, before I told it, before these people are very great people, but here now H index is more because he is a mediocre, because he used to publish properly. But in case I10 comes, it is only 1. But here in author B, I10 is 4. Correct? Because it has more than 10 citation it is there. Okay? Then author C has I10 5. So this is how we see I10 index, we compare and see, because it should have I10 should have 10 times citation. So now what you understand here, if somebody don't want to do this many citation is not required for us. Correct, somebody cites our paper 10 times, that is more than enough. Okay, but if you keep on going your publication, you want to become H index, that should be equal. For example, you have published 20 paper. In 20, last paper, 20 times it has to be cited. Okay, as your paper increases, citation also has to be increased for the H index. Understand? But in I10, you require only 10 citation. Okay? What is G index? G index was proposed by Leo again in his paper Theory and Practice of G index. Okay, in this book. This is an improvement on H index. They improved on H index. So G index is the unique largest number such that top G article received at least G square citation. Top G article together means what? Highly cited article and low cited article. Both together it is mixed. Here they have taken care of this thing because they require only 10 citation, then remaining it is waste. But in G index, all this taken care. Okay, this all will be taken care in G index. Okay. So advantage that performance of author's top article. So it take care of the performance of the top article more than 10 times citation. But in G index it taking care. Okay. And help to make apparent difference between authors' respective impact. An inflated level of values of G index help to give credit to lowly cited and non-cited papers while giving credit for highly cited papers. So it gives low cited papers also and highly cited papers also. They are taken care of all those things. Disadvantage is like I10 index. Our academician, for your performance and all, they are not considering I10 index. They only consider for G index, H index. Like that, G index also they are not considering till now. They are only seeing the H index. So that is the one disadvantage because widely accepted is H index. Understand? So these are the things you should know. Then how we calculate H index? Same data I have taken, same data what I used for H index and I10 index. So citation C. Then I ranked 1, 2, 3 according to that R and citation according to this. Now, sorry, the symbol is different. Summation of C. Summation, we have to do summation and R square. Okay. Summation means 29, first is 29, then we add 29 plus 26, second is 55, then 55 plus 15, 70, 70 plus 14, 84, 84 plus 12, 96, like that we have to add. That's the summation of citation. This is so all your citation is taken care here. In I10, you only 10 times citation is taken care. Here you are all, if it is 200, 500 times you are cited, it will come here. It will be taken care. Then what is R square? 1 square, 1, 2 square, 4, 3 square, 9. This is the one they are taken. Okay? R square. Now how they will calculate? Now you have to see how now G index comes here. Citation for example, summation of C, average citation should be equal or greater than R square. Which is the value here? Equal and which one? 11? No, it should be equal and greater than which one? 12, no, it is nearby. 12, 146 is 144. Okay, so it should be equal or greater than R square, the citation summation. So it is 146 is more than 144. It's near to that. So what is the G index is 12. G index is 12. So citation, total citation, no, it is 146. It should be equal or greater than R square. So it is a very near value. If you take this, it is, but this is there, no? That's why we take 12. So same thing, author A and author B and author C, same data I used, the summation of citation, summation and R square. So can you tell anyone what is the author A G index? Which one? 7, huh? How 8? It should be greater, no? summation should be greater. It is 6. 6 because it is 44 and 36 near, isn't it? We can't use this one because less than 49. So then it is the G index is 6. What about author B? Author B? 8. Yeah, 8 because here R square is 64 and because they have more number of citation in all first paper they had more citation, so this is the G is 8. That's why more number of citation, G index will become more. Your G index will become more. What about author C? 8 only. See, they have more number of citation than this R square, so 8. So they have still chance of improving their G index. They have already more number of citation. They can just publish nice paper and they can still increase the G index because they already have lot of citation before. Okay. So these are the 3. H index is the main one. Should know H index and I10 and G index. Of these are the matrix which assess me or you how much we are there in the science field. Okay. Anywhere you want to go apply, they ask what is your H index. So important is your research. Teaching also important. How you do research, which field you do, and what is the impact. All depends on your citation and H index. So research database. Somebody is going to talk about research database later. I'll just give the glance research database. You are writing the thesis. When you are writing the thesis, dissertation, research paper, it is a key task to survey literature survey, isn't it? You do literature survey, no, first. Then research finding. Especially you will be looking for trusted resources. Most likely peer-reviewed research article. You have to do, when you want to go for research review, you have to go peer-reviewed research article. Okay? Then academic research databases make it easy to locate literature you are looking for. So each database contains thousands of articles which you can search for simultaneously and quickly to find articles with higher relevancy than searching the individual journals. So each database, you have many databases, I list each one. So databases can include journals, newspaper, magazines, reports, newsletter and many more. So these are many databases. Sometimes include books, can focus on one subject or be multidisciplinary, often give you full text, others show only abstract citation. You can print, save, email citation, and if you available full text article in PDF format, it is there. It might look different but have similar function like limiting to only peer-reviewed journals or searching by date. Check databases, help page for tips. Then you can use our campus login, MUID and password. You go to library, you have many databases, you can search in that and you get, also you call subscription databases, online databases, article databases, electronic resources. These are the different types of resource. So indexing databases also is there. Citation index is a kind of bibliographic database. Index citation taken between publication, allowing user to easily establish which letter documents, which earlier citation index is an ordered list of cited article, each accompanied by list of citing articles. So we have indexing database. Then how you will search? Journal contents are searchable using keywords, author's name, title, abstract, anything you can put, it will come out, and being represented in the relevant online abstracting or indexing service is an essential factor of success of a journal. The citation index was first found in 12th century in Hebrew religious literature. legal citation index were found in the 18th century and were made popular by citation such as Shepherd's citation in 1873. So 1960, Eugene Garfield's Institute of Scientific Information, ISI, introduced the first citation index for paper published in academic journal, the first science citation index, and later social science citation index and arts and humanities citation index. The first automated citation index was done by CiteSeer in 1997. Other sources of such data include Google Scholar and Elsewhere Scopus. So these are some of the indexed databases. Important citation databases now. Web of Science. You are familiar with Web of Science? This is one of the data Clevered Analytics. Web of Science is an online subscription-based citation indexing service which gives access to multiple databases that reference across disciplinary research, which allows comprehensive citation search and in-depth exploration of specialized subfield within scientific discipline. It consists of 6 core databases, number of specialist collection as well as regional databases, and currently contain more than 160 million records, over 1.7 billion cited references. You have number of Atlantis Press Journal and proceeding is indexed in Web of Science databases such as Science Citation Index Expanded and the Emerging Source Citation Index and Conference Proceeding Citation Index. These are the number of the citation index which is present in the Web of Science. Then we have Scopus. Elsewhere Scopus is the world's largest abstract citation database of peer-reviewed scientific journal. Books are there, and conference proceedings which covers research topics across all scientific and technical and medical disciplines. Database currently contain more than 75 million records and 1.4 billion cited references. It also offers various smart tools and metrics to track and analyze and visualize the research. At present, selected number of Atlantis Press journals proceedings is indexed in Scopus. Number of applications are in progress. We have Medline, mainly for science student and medical student. US National Library of Medicine, premier bibliographic database that contains more than 25 billion references to journal article in life science with a concentration on biomedicine. The subject scope of Medline is biomedicine, health, broadly defined to encompass those areas of life sciences, behavioral sciences, chemical sciences, bioengineering needed by health professionals and other engaged in basic research and clinical care. So Medline also covers life science vital to biomedical practitioners, researchers and educators, including aspects of biology, environmental science, marine biology, plant, animal science, as well as biophysics and chemistry. So select number of Atlantic Press journals in health and medical sciences also indexed in Medline. So many journals, they will be indexed sometime in the Scopus, sometime they indexed in the Medline, sometime they indexed in the Web of Science. Most of the journals will be present in the Web of Science index. Then we have Pubmed Central. Those who are familiar science students, they go for Pubmed. Pubmed Central full text, free full text digital archive of biomedical and life science journal literature, which has been developed and operated by National Center for Biotechnology Information, NCBI, US National Library of Medicine, NLM, and US National Institute of Health. As today, PMC contains more than 5.9 millions of full text articles spanning several centuries of biomedical and life science research. Participation by publisher in PMC is voluntary, although participating journals must meet certain scientific and technical standard and content must be deposited as per NIH public access policy. So to get this participation, they have some standard to meet their standard. Then only they index in Pubmed. All journal will not index in the Pubmed because they have to certain criteria is there. So here also some selected number of Atlantis Press journals in health and medical science are indexed. Then DOJ, Directory of Open Access Journal, community curated online directory open access journal which aims to starting point for all information searches for quality peer reviewed and open access material. Nowadays open access journals are more. You have to pay, and because open access journal is good, why? Because your citation will be increased and more people will come to know faster. Okay, this is the one main thing. This mission is to increase visibility, accessibility, reputation, usage and impact of quality, peer-reviewed, open access scholarly research journals globally regardless of discipline, geography or language. Okay, there are 14,000 open access journals now in 133 countries. More than 4.6 billion open access articles covering all areas of science, technology, medicine, social science and humanities. So thank you so much. I think if you have any doubts, you can ask me. So I have covered research matrix related to the journal and individual. Okay, how they assess it. If you have any doubts or anything, you can ask me. Or I am available in the campus, you can come anytime.
Sir, how we can how many times it is cited?
Yeah, how many times it's cited? You can go to Google Scholar, your citation will be there, your publication will be there, one citation will be there. You can go to Scopus website, you have to register, then you will see your paper and how many times it is cited. And even Web of Science also you can go.
Only if it is we are registered, then only we will get.
Yeah, registration is free.
Oh.
Google also free. You can just name all those things you can enter and it will come. Okay?
Citation can be even by ourselves.
Yeah, that is there. You have to now know what is your main aim. You have to increase your H index. How you can increase your H index? You have to tell, I can't tell now, it is unethical. You have to do that. Means, for example, you can't do anything. Your research is good, anybody will cite. Your research should be good and impact on others. Then people will cite. If you do not quality research, nobody will get cited. Okay. But people, as you told, do some other way also. They'll tell their friends and cite all those things. But that is not good.
Sir,
Yes.
excuse me. Sir, G index is improved version of H index. Then why it is worldwide not used, sir? What is the reason?
What?
G index is the improved version of H index,
Yeah.
right, sir?
Yes.
Then why it is not using worldwide?
Yeah, because
Particular reasons.
Yeah, I understand. Still people are thinking, research is going on whether G index can be used because somebody will get more citation. Like I gave the reference, author C, first paper 220 times is cited. Okay, but in fourth paper only 7 times or 3 times is cited. Okay, so what will happen? There is a bias. So G index, all citation will come. But it will taking care of non-indexed journal also and other journal also, not cited journal also. So that's why people are still thinking whether to include or not. But H index is the standard.
Regarding alternatives you were telling.
Yeah.
So it is related to the social networking side.
Yeah.
So whether it is how much people are commenting on it or how much people are sharing.
Yeah, all depends on, there is a matrix. They take sharing also, how much they comments, how much discussion is going on that paper and how much it is famous all over the world. People are seeing, no? Yeah. That way it is indexed, that journal. Or even researcher also will get that matrix. Get indexed, yeah. So now any paper comes now, they'll put in the Facebook, they'll keep it in the Twitter. I think research gate, that is not coming in this, not figuring, but otherwise people more discuss in research gate. Yeah. Any more? You are clear with H index now at least? Okay? And I10, because I10 H index is very important. Impact factor also clear, no? Journal of impact factor 2 years. Some journals, SJR, they take 3 years. That's the only difference of matrix. Okay? Thank you.
Tell me, I may forget. Teach me, I may remember. Involve me, and I learn. Benjamin Franklin. Thank you, sir, for spending your valuable time with us by giving the best session on the important topic, research metrics, which included influencing factors of journal, site score, H index, I10 index, Almetric, G index, and many more websites also you taught us, where you not only explained the theory part, but also gave a brief explanation on the calculation part in a systematic way. Thank you, sir. Now I request Chaitra from second year MEd to convey heartfelt thanks to everyone present over here.
Good evening, everyone. I extend very heartily vote of thanks to the resource person of this session, Dr. Muhammad Shafal Mustaq, who spent time from his busy schedules to boost us and give information about the research matrix, impact factor of journal as per the journal citation reports, and so on in this session. Thank you so much, sir. It will surely help us in us future. I request Mrs. Lamy MC to give the token of love. Thank you, ma'am. I also extend a thanks to our coordinator and the lecturers of Department of Education for their cooperation in this program. I also thank the presence of family members of resource persons. Further, a big thanks to the Master of Ceremony for their effort towards the anchoring of today. I mention my deepest sense of appearance would place on the records of my heart to thank all the volunteers because that one who made this program possible. I also specially thank the people who have been backbone of today's event. I also thank our media person and also catering staff members. I also thank once again to state that the gratefulness of the speaker, one who is in the stage, to boost us about this topic. Thank you, Nina.